is Zoe Barrett, and today we'll be interviewing Jennifer Jarrard on behalf of Hepburn Magazine's Amazing Australian interview segment. Good afternoon, Jennifer. How are you?
Awesome. How are you going, Zoe?
I'm well, thank you. So I'm so excited to chat to you today about all the amazing work you've done, all your current projects and future projects. So let's talk about your current position. So currently I hear that you're the Director of Corporate Member Operations at World Commerce and Contracting. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. And go, what on earth is World Commerce and Contracting? Well, professional body for anybody who buys stuff and sells stuff. So imagine like the CPA Australia or the association for people in commerce and contracting. So we help improve the whole relationship management between buyers and sellers. When you're looking at large organizations, we've got billions of dollars of money going backwards and forwards through contracting processes.
How did you actually get into this position or this job?
With all my life, all my career, it was purely by accident. 5 years ago, it was discovered that I had a golf ball-sized brain tumor in my brain, and I was running a training organization. I was traveling the world, training and speaking, and then I couldn't train. I couldn't walk, I couldn't drive, I couldn't do anything for nearly a year. And a couple of months after my brain surgery, I had like 26 staples in my head. It was all gruesome, but I'm all fine now. But my face is a little bit wonky. My girlfriend of mine, who I trained to be a mind mapping instructor, because when I was used to run the Busan Center, she needed some help with supplier relationship management training. And because I was stuck at home and I could do a little bit, I ended up working part-time at the time we were called International Association for Contract and Commercial Management. So I was there part-time, and it was amazing because it gave me purpose. It gave me an opportunity to work, even then when I was at my lowest. What am I going to do? Because I was really concerned that I would never be able to work again, let alone drive or fly. First time you fly after brain surgery is really weird when your ear pops and you don't have an eardrum. So I'm now completely deaf in my left ear because I had to get to my ear to get to the brain tumor. Anyway, so as my health improved, as I was able to spend more time on the computer, just gradually, I went from part-time to full-time from a very low level job. And I was totally overqualified in that sense because, I had a master's degree in entrepreneurship and innovation. I'd run my own businesses and been on television, all sorts of different things. But I was so thankful that they took the chance on me to give me something meaningful to do and to get my health back and to feel like a, really good, able to contribute back. And they find out that, oh, you can do that or you can do that. And so I'm a Jill of all trades, master of sums.
Yeah, no, it sounds so nice. And obviously you've had a lot of challenges in your career. Is there any advice that you usually give to your consulting clients?
Well, the one thing is in a sense, never say no and always be open to opportunities, open to ideas. And it's about possibility thinking. It's not what can't be done. It's, okay, what does that lead to? Where are the possibilities? So when we're working with things like, De Bono's 6 Thinking Hats, which we've done a lot of training in through my company MindWorks, that you look at what are the possibilities. It's not just, no, it can't be done, black hat, the risks and the negatives. It's yellow hat. What are the opportunities? What's the possibilities? What's the benefit? What can we do that? So, and I know things can be tough, but it's about seeing things laterally, seeing things off the path that you would normally go. So I'm a certifiable lateral thinking trainer, and it helps us to see things differently. Like with the current COVID times, the organizations that pivot, who can sort of go, oh, that's interesting. What else can we do? What's the concept behind my current business or what customers need, and how else can I deliver that concept? So, I did a lot of supplier relationship management training face-to-face. I was in Darwin just before we got grounded. I was with the Defense Department teaching supplier relationship management. I had other courses to do. And then we were able to flip it to do it like virtually in a very short period of time.
Yeah, wow. It sounds like you've done a lot of training and have a lot of qualifications behind you. What are these all in?
Yes. So I left home at 15, became a teenage mum. I did everything backwards. I had a mum, got married, went to university. uh, I did a bachelor's of business in my early 30s, and I did my master's in my early 40s. Having left school at 15 and come from a disadvantaged social economic background, uh, education to me was really important. And I wanted that piece of paper. And when you're 20, 25, 30, you feel like a fraud. Everyone feels like they've got this mask on, and that, you're going to get found out soon. And often, even when we're older, we have that concern. And to me, an education was that piece of paper. But it was also the journeys along the way. I worked in a large telecommunications company from about 16, and that was terrific. And I spent about 20 odd years in telcos, working in Australia and Malaysia, UK. And then I met my husband, and we, on our third date, I think he took me to see Edward de Bono, and I'm going, I can learn to think, I can learn to be creative. And this is sort of late 90s, just when innovation and creativity was just starting to emerge. And so we got really fascinated in that area, and learned a little bit more about it. And Bill, on our first date, he gave me the Mind Map book by Tony Buzan. And Tony Buzan used to love this story because mind maps brought true love. And because I'm dyslexic and I had troubles learning, and a poor education, understanding how my mind worked was very amazing and liberating. And that's why I sort of quit my day job in a corporate, and for about 20 years or so ran our organization called MindWorks in the Buzan Center. And I think I've spoken at conferences or done training in over 22 countries, and immersed myself in that and became a master trainer in Tony Buzan's techniques. And that's how weirdly I ended up being the chief judge at the World Memory Championships for about 15 years or something like that.
That's impressive.
Because memory is, well, it sounds good, but my memory is improving, which is why I organized the Memory Championship, not participate in them. But memory is the basis of business. It's the basis of life. If you can remember a project, if you can remember a conversation, if you can remember a meeting, if you remember your clients' histories, or just their family situation, a memory is the foundation of everything. Which is why I got really excited in that, and that's what led me to be on television and part of that documentary called "Redesign My Brain" with Todd Sampson. Wow. So Todd came to the World Memory Championships in London in 2012, and so that was all part of that. And then it was just quite weird that I'm a brain trainer who gets a brain tumor, and
yeah.
And my husband said, "Well, how lucky is she?"
Wow. Yeah. So I've talked a lot about like the 6 thinking hats. I'm really interested in this concept. So how is it applicable to like everyday life?
Imagine you're wanting to buy a house, or imagine you're deciding on your career, do I move a career or something like that. A lot of us just think over and over again. We get stuck in a rut, or we might think of the pros and the cons and jump back to it and whatever. Or you might want to have a discussion with your partner about buying a house. And imagine the scenario. Okay, you're both going there. You see it from a home living perspective, and your partner, she or he, may see it from a financial perspective. And, you're just not seeing eye to eye. Dr. Edward de Bono is a medical doctor, and he said that our brain gets into patterns, gets into grooves, and we need to unbundle our thinking. And so he developed this concept called 6 thinking hats, which is 6 different modes of thinking. And it's like a hat. I can take it on and off. I can change my mode of thinking. And the key thing is that you're thinking the same type of mode at the same time. So this is a true story. My girlfriend was trying to buy a house with her partner, and they couldn't agree. They'd been to 20, 30 houses, just couldn't agree because they had so different perspectives on it. And over the phone, I said, look, there's a thing called the 6 thinking hats. Now, you think of the white hat, you think of a white piece of paper. It's facts and data. Write down all the facts and data, what the cost is, the location, interest rates, etc., like that. Then let's look at the yellow hat. Yellow is happy, positive, benefits. Why is this place a good idea? What are all the benefits? And you just stick at it for about 3 minutes, listing all the benefits, why it's a good idea, what's great about this house. Then you take that hat off and then you put the black hat on. You think of black, dark, gloomy, negative. Okay, what are the weaknesses? What are the downsides? What are the risks? What could be some of the problems? And then again, 3 minutes. And then you, depending on what sort of sequence or how you start the thinking, but maybe it could be green hat ideas. Okay, let's look at the green hat: green grass, green growth, green field. What are some ideas that this house leads to? Other ideas of renovations, or ideas of where to next, what other ideas maybe in this location. Or like when we bought this place, we were looking for a 3-bedroom, but this place had 2-bedroom and a great garage, which we ended up converting into an office for our 3rd bed. So, and then and there's a couple of other hats: red hat, flush of the cheek, passion, love, emotion. Okay, now how do we feel about this house, having done the thinking? Love it, like it, don't like it, hate it, whatever. Just that 30-second gut reaction, intuition. Once I hung up the phone I had a couple of red hat cards, just a summary of what I'd said, sent it to her. The next weekend she rang me, said we bought a house. And because they could actually explore the situation from all different angles, and rather than just seeing it from one perspective and not having a shared exploration of the full situation.
Yeah, wow.
Does that give you?
Yeah, no, that's super interesting. I think it's a concept that I actually learned maybe at school. All the
Yeah.
And
Primary school.
yeah, it's something obviously coming into my like early 20s. I turn 22 next week. I've got big decisions coming up. Uni, work, career, and everything. So it's really applicable for me, and I'm sure it's applicable for a lot of other people.
Absolutely, yeah. We taught the 6 thinking hats in a lot of schools as part of the thinking curriculum, teaching kids to think. I think by about grade 6, some kids get so over the hats. But we teach the creativity innovation at the university as part of the Masters of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Really, really senior people, say at Microsoft, sending you a text saying 6 hats rock. Because when I was a marketing manager or director for marketing at major teleco, we had this situation. The team was there, all the product managers there, was about 10 of them, and we had to work through the situation, and it was tough. And one guy on our team, and my dad's English, and I can say that this guy was a whinging pom. And he was always had the black hat, negative, 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 would never say anything positive. And so I introduced the 6 hats to the whole team. And I said, okay, let's look at the situation. Just the white hat. What are the facts? Okay. Then we said, okay, black hat. What are the risks, the downside of us doing this project? And he was off, moan, groan. Yeah. Okay, great. Now it is your job, even though you don't agree, it is your job. Take the black hat off, put the yellow hat on. What are some positives? What are the possibilities? Where will this lead? And he said, oh, well, there's this and there's that and this and there's this possibility and this. And everyone went, shit, they'd never seen him say anything positive before. So it works for work situations, and it stops people going round and round and round in circles. Now, if you have a couple of things, what should I do with uni, or what should I do with this? I've got choices to make. You can do a quick yellow hat, black hat on both of them.
No, it sounds really good. Well, all our Hepburn readers are very creative thinkers and innovative and entrepreneurial style. So I've got a few questions to ask you for our readers. So first question would kind of be like, what's one change you could bring to the world?
One change is really about a mindset that our planet is finite resources, and to look at how we consume in the planet. Reduce, reuse, recycle mantra. For example, I only buy my milk in glass jars. I'm of the age, I remember when things were tight and you used to reuse everything. So just I understand the importance that plastics remain on this planet for hundreds of years, and we need to think new ways. I just undo the things that we've been taught. You know, and unfortunately with COVID now, a lot of people are using more and more plastics because they're concerned about health and safety and things like that, which is understandable. But there are innovative ways around that. I suppose I'm concerned for the next generation.
Yeah, which is super important. Obviously, my generation is very big on environment as well.
Before my brain tumor was diagnosed, and it was golf ball size, and it grows about 1 millimeter a year. So it was there for a while, I know at least 10, 15 years. And it was really affecting my life. And, I was a brain trainer, but I couldn't fix my own brain. I couldn't work out why. And we finally found that it was all in my head. But I went through a real existential crisis. I traveled the world. I've been to Mount Everest. I've been to the Dead Sea. I've been to the Great Wall. I've traveled for 40 countries. I've done everything, but I still wasn't happy. And I just couldn't understand why. And I realized after the crash, the MH17 crash, that there's so much stuff going on in the world. You just want to make a difference in someone's life every day. So whether that is, every Sunday I cook up a big meal and take it to a little old lady down the street. I help my ex-secretaries now in a wheelchair. I became a disability support worker for her so that I can do things for her. And she trusted me to go out because she's immune compromised. Friends of mine have just had premature twin boys. And, I bought them car seats so they could get home. And just doing simple things, just make a difference in someone's day, someone's life every day. And that makes me worthwhile, why I'm on this planet. Because it's a bit hard once you've achieved all your goals. When you're younger, it's, you get caught up in the work and the life and everything like that. But, I'd achieved everything. I'd traveled everywhere. I go, now what's the point? Why do I need to get out of bed? It was a real existential crisis from my brain tumor, but generally I've done everything. So what's next? What's the point? And even when you're 70, 80, 90, what's the point of my life? And if you can make a difference, whether that's charity work or just a smile or a chat.
No, I really liked what you said. It's little things, really.
Yeah, it's just simple things. With COVID, my daughter, we couldn't have a baby shower, and it was terrible. But I got tiny little bottles of champagne, wrapped them up in paper with a little note to pop when she pops, and I added in pink because we knew it was a girl. Pink lollies and lollipops, and I posted it around to all the family and friends around Australia. And like even yesterday, we got a photo of my sister and her husband and the two boys having a toast to the new baby.
So nice.
So I didn't need to do that, but I just wanted them to share that experience and share that excitement. I used to live on the Gold Coast, and I was part of Rotary, and twice a week I used to go down and help feed the homeless. It's part of a project that we're doing, and the community was great. They'd be donating bread and day-old bread and sausage rolls and lots of things. But I realized the guys weren't getting really healthy foods, so I'd buy a packet of Weet-Bix, a couple of jugs of milk, and some fruit, $20 worth of fruit, make a fruit salad. So at least they had some fruit in their diet. And to me, it just made sense. But then when my uncle said, "What are you, a saint or something?" I thought, oh, hang on, I better rein it back a bit. Yeah. So little things can make a big, big difference.
I'm really inspired by everything you have to say, I guess. Is there anyone that inspires you?
Well, I stand on the shoulders of giants such as Tony Bizan and Edward de Bono, and these thinking pioneers, and other people inspire me by the work that they do. Just because I was young and left home, I didn't really understand people. So I read a lot of biographies. So I still read a lot of biographies. So Michelle Obama, Sandberg, Malia Yousafzai, all these other people. I'm always really interested in their thinking and how they think. And from a thinking perspective or from a humanity perspective, or inspired by people like Simon Sinek about getting to the why, and also inspired by the team I work with now at World Commerce and Contracting. They're an amazing bunch of people. Sally Gaio is our CEO. We're a small, lean, non-for-profit trying to make a difference in how contracts can change the world. And the head of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, their contracting area, she won one of our awards, and because of the contracting processes they put in place with Ebola and everything like that a few years ago. And in a conference, someone walked away and sort of said, who knew that contracting can change the world? If we want to change modern slavery, if we want to be more climate aware, if we want to ensure that we have good salary for people, we want good working conditions, it's all about the contract and the services. We've got the Royal Commission at the moment about the hotel quarantine contract. What was in that contract and not. And a contract isn't just a piece of paper. It is actually often the operating instructions or the operations manual. And it often depends whether a contract is for the marriage or for the divorce. Is only for when things go bad. And occasionally they do, but it's mostly about when things go well. How are we going to work together? How are we going to be more innovative? How is a supplier going to help our business achieve the goals? And this is where the relationship comes in. And it's about working together to have synergies and be able to move forward.
Yeah, I really like listening to your positive outlook on life. It's something that we all need, especially during this time, during COVID, especially I'm sure you understand down in Victoria.
I just had a team meeting, and one of my colleagues in Victoria went, it sucks. And it does suck, and it's been really hard. But the people that talk about half full and is a glass half full or half empty. The key point is a glass is refillable. You just fill it up again, whatever happens. I've had major career shifts. If someone told me 6 years ago I'd be doing this, but it just sort of made sense because of my background to here. I went from a corporate career to running my own business to being on television a lot to everything. I felt I lost everything, to now being, on from a global perspective, really making a difference in our economy and the way we run our countries run businesses. Been to Malaysia, looking at how their contracting process works. Around the world. So we're in about 180 countries. We're about 70,000 members, and it's really making a difference. Here in Australia, the head office is in the US, and we've got some people in the UK. Australia is the only other country where they have resources. And I used to be Australia only or APAC. Now I'm a global role, but they invested so much in Asia, Pacific, particularly Australia and New Zealand. So we've got the whole of New Zealand government has a membership with us, and that we're really helping governments and private enterprises see things differently in the way they engage with their suppliers. So it's pretty awesome stuff, even though it sounds really boring.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, we're about to run out of time, but is there anything else you'd like to add or to our readers?
No, and that the fact that they're readers is awesome. I used to teach speed reading, and reading is a skill. And I actually don't like the term speed reading. It's reading strategically, reading for different purposes. What is the outcome? What are you trying to achieve when you? So reading is enables this sort of deep learning and deep thinking. So reading is a key part of what we do. It's raising our awareness of other ideas. You know, Oliver Wendell Holmes said, a mind once stretched by a new idea never regains its original dimension. Once you see something or hear something or read something and you've gone, aha, then your brain can never go back. It can't unsee that. So it's great that that the readers get to hear other people's stories, and I hope from my story you've been able to benefit. But again, I suppose the other thing is possibility thinking. What are the possibilities? And making a difference every day. Life is awesome.
That's a perfect ending. Life is awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today, Jennifer. I really enjoyed it. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Zoe. Awesome. Well, great job. And I look forward to reading some of the other amazing people that you've got lined up.
Yes.
I really appreciate what you're doing.
No problem. Thank you.